So we are here and I'm going to do a demonstration to show how to make like a simple pair of earrings, but I want to introduce the tools and stuff that I use first. First and foremost, I should say my goggles. Stuff goes flying, you start hammering and snipping wire and stuff, and I've had some close calls, so now I try to remember to keep these on. It's a little frustrating sometimes because I wear glasses, so it's a little weird to have these on, but you also don't want like particulate and stuff from wire getting in your eye. And if you're going to be doing any filing, you need on a mask too, so you don't get that in your lungs and stuff. So quickly, what I have here, I have a hammer. I have several hammers. I only bought this one. The flat side is for hammering flat, and this side is interchangeable. I only have one. It's for texturing metal. I have several pliers, different pliers. This is called a bail maker, so that you can make jump rings, the little rings that connect things, or you can make a bail to hold a pendant. And I use these. I have several other pliers, but these are probably the ones I use the most. These are flush cutters, and you use those for just snipping pieces of metal off. So flush cutters, they come with the strength to cut different gauges of wire. And this is called a steel bench block. This is a rubber bench block. And these are the surfaces you hammer on. And I always use a ruler. This is a mandrel for making rings. It has different ring sizes, but you can also make circles for, pendants or whatever, chains or whatever. And this is a gauge detector, basically, where you can gauge what size your wire is, and that becomes important depending on what you're making. And if you want to replicate it again, you're like, okay, what size wire was that? This will help you to determine it, keep that straight. So I have 3 kinds of wire. This one is red brass, this one is bronze, and this is some copper. And then I have some, I'm making one earring because it'll show you that you would make the second earring. These are ear wires. These are jump rings, little circles that you connect things with. And these are head pins if you want to connect some kind of like a stone or something. And I didn't put any stones out here, but I have some stone options there. So I already pre-hammered I don't know if you can see this piece of brass wire here, and put a couple of loops on the end. This is a copper one. So what I did was, I think I have, this is the bronze. I didn't use that one. It's really similar in color to the copper. So I'm going to use my bail maker, and I'm just going to take a piece of it and try to, I'm going to make a really small one because I was trying to do different little wavelengths to make an earring. So you just wrap it around and wrap it around and keep doing that as many times as you would wish. And then when you got as much, I want to make this one long because I'm trying to do some dangly earrings. So then you see I have a little coil there. I'm going to snip it off. And then what I did, this is just something I made up this morning, like, okay, what am I going to show to make? I'm going to start like pulling this apart. This one's pulling it apart. And then I'm going to try to flatten it so I can hammer it. That's where my pliers might come in handy. Okay, so just trying to make some little swirls here. All right. So let's see, one more little piece here. All right. It's not perfect, but I can figure it out as I go. There's a lot of serendipity in making jewelry. Sometimes you go off in one direction and the materials take you in another direction. So this is a thinner gauge wire probably than these were. And now what I'm going to do is take my hammer, and I'm just going to like, this is work hardening the metal and also giving it a little sheen and texture. So it's flattening it a little bit. Excuse me. So I am then going to take my little tiny needle nose pliers, and I do what's called code work, meaning I don't fire up a torch. If I make something hang together, I have to figure out how to do it without fire. A lot of designers use a torch and they solder, and they just basically are melting metal together, joining it together. I don't do that, so whenever I make anything, I have to find a way to make it hang together structurally without melting anything. So I made a little loop. That part can be for the ear wire, and then down here on the opposite end, I'm going to make another little loop where if you want to, you can hang, say, like a little small bead or, you know, semi-precious stone if you wanted to dangle from there. So once I've made the little loops, I hammer them again to work harden them so that they won't move. The thinner the wire, the less you want to hammer, because it'll get brittle and maybe even break. So this one isn't closed all the way. I'm going to close it up a little bit here. All right. And then, so now my idea was that I would have these 3 pieces here, and then I would just put them together like so. Okay, let me see. And put a ring through here. Let me see if I can get that done. Here are my jump rings. Put some on the table here. And now you use your pliers to open up your jump ring. You don't want to twist it too much, just kind of give it a little beep. Open it up. And then you take the 3 parts and you put them together like so. See that? Nice little dangly earrings. And then you're going to take an ear wire. Some on the table. Come on out, ear wires. Okay. They're not coming out. Come on out. Okay, we got one. So you take your ear wire and you feed it on the jump ring just like you did with the 3 hammered pieces of wire. You're going to close your jump ring. All right, let me see. Hang on 1 second. Close the jump ring, and there you have it. You have a cute little dangly earring. See? And then if you want to, you can add little stones down here. And I'll show that next time out. But this is perfectly fine as it is. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, so that's that.